Greetings of the day. So today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic that is been prevalent in relation to positive psychology. That is resilience. I hope that resilience is not a new term for you all. Resilience could be a thought-provoking topic, but it is usually been considered as the positive adaptation in response to adversity. We know that we are prone to experience adversities in our life. As a human being, we have gone through multiple experiences which can trigger stress and anxiety among us. So, resilience is a positive adaptation in response to adversity. Positive adaptation outcomes such as recovery, well being, post traumatic growth can be observed among individuals with high resilience. Some of the examples of resilience or resilient behavior include the survivors of natural calamities such as earthquake or flood and how they faced serious setbacks in their life, various domains of their life, and how they came out of it after the event. Social and occupational functioning and even mental health can be impacted due to adversities. So, individuals' journey from these disruptions to a life which is more functioning and which can result in growth can be an indicative of resilience. So, here we discussed about resilience and we use a term called adversities. So, adversities refers to the experiences that disrupt the regular course of development of a system or an individual. And resilience could be helpful to cope with unfavorable transitional experiences, which is important in a life, in an individual's life, which could be favorable but challenging. For example, if you are going to a new place, new college, if you were given or selected as elected as a school representative in an intercollegiate competition or a leader, these are all favorable, still challenging. So for them, we do need resilience in such positive, favorable, still challenging life situations. So resilient individuals engage with the situation actively instead of maladaptive coping by avoidance or denial. We know that we human beings are more tend to avoid situations which can be triggering, which could be unfavorable, which are more challenging. But here, when you have resilience, we will try to engage with the environment and actively engaging that results in effective coping with the environment. So it may be appropriate to posit that resilience develops from exposure to risk and developing strengths to address it rather than running away from it. So resilience can be considered as a trait, a skill, a process, or even an outcome depending on the constraints or the situations. It was perceived as an attribute that can lead to positive adaptation with the individual. It can be considered as a journey towards positive adaptation, or it's a process. It's considered as a skill, and it can result in outcomes such as post-traumatic growth, benefit finding, well-being, and so on. So let's see few people who has used resilience in their life and who are considered as resilient individuals from history. First one is Helen Keller. You know that Helen Keller is a historical figure who is deaf and blind, and he faced a lot of challenges from her early ages. And with the help of her teacher, she overcame the challenges. As an individual who is visually and audibly challenged, the person has struggled a lot to become a renowned author and an activist. And she is considered as a determination. She is considered as the key figure which represent the determination and perseverance of an individual. And she is considered as a strong figure in resilience. Another person is Mr. Nelson Mandela. His life is remarkable. We know that he's an anti-apartheid activist from South Africa, and he has gone through like 27 years. He spent his life behind bars, and he never wavered his commitment for justice and equality. He had a really big battle with uh, injustice and inequality. So he became the first black president in South Africa, and that's how his journey is an inspiration for individuals, and his resilience actually have a profound change in the history itself. Next one is Stephen Hawking. You might be familiar with the person. He's having a motor neuron disease from the very younger age, and still within his limitations, he handled his life successfully. He reached his expectations, or he reached his highest potential. He has scientific knowledge. He tried to like make groundbreaking work on black holes and the nature of universe, and his stories remind us that physical limitations should not limit your uh, dreams or aspirations. Last but not the least, next one is Charlie Chaplin, which whom you are very familiar with. He's a comedian, who is an actor, he's a filmmaker, and he has a really troublesome childhood. He has gone through multiple tragic incidents, but still he was not ready to held back. He battled with his struggles. He came forward with more strength and power, and he is like a prosperous career in films. So these are some of the examples of resilience. So why certain people are having more resilience than others? So there are certain factors that impact an individual's resilience. There is something called social strengths and cognitive strengths or individual strengths. So social strengths or social or interpersonal strengths can be something which is highly related to our environment or the place we belong to. They include social, family situations or cohesion, how family are closely bound, social skills we have, the availability of social resources, and cognitive or individual strength is more focused on the individual's ability, self-efficacy, goal efficacy, control, and even planning behavior. So today, this is the class for today. I hope that this topic is clear for you. So we discussed about resilience, the definition of resilience, how resilience is considered as a trait, outcome, process, and so on. And we discussed about few resilient individuals from the history. So hope you had a good time. Thank you so much.